And welcome back to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. Lee Hall, Anthony Longstreet, formerly of Chicago Crane. We are gearing up for our 4A state championship game. All right, they're going to try and make their voices heard too on the floor as they take on Simeon for the 4A state championship. We're back in Peoria after this local timeout. It's the final game of the high school basketball season, and it comes to you tonight from Peoria. Whitney Young takes on Simeon for the 4A state championship. Hello and welcome to downtown Peoria Carver Arena. I'm Lee Hall. Thanks for joining us tonight on the IHSA TV network.
Well, thank you very much, Lee. And indeed, it is all Chicago. In fact, this is only the second time in state history that two Chicago Public League teams will meet for the state title. Years ago, this game would have been secondary to winning the Public League championship. However, that philosophy has changed. Right now, to winning a state championship is goal number one from day number one.
Both teams lost early in the Public League playoffs. They were able to refocus their eyes on a bigger prize, the state championship. Both teams with a second chance to be number one.
And it's not been easy for either one of these two teams to get here. Let's take a look at Whitney Young. First of all, take a look at that sectional final. 65-60 win over a very good Foreman team. Whitney Young was down by 17 in that one. And then last night, Ahmad Starks, you saw it moments ago, that 12-foot baseline jumper in the final seconds to push Whitney Young into this championship game for the second straight year. Fort Simeon, big wins over Lions and Mount Carmel, a double overtime win over Bennett Academy, and last night it was a big fourth quarter led by Brandon Spearman to make things happen for Simeon and put them in the championship game once again. Well, we feature our players tonight, and they're good players, but they are absolutely clutch players. And first of all, who else? Ahmad Starks.
The Oregon State recruit hit the big shot last night, 15 points, 7 rebounds. He played every second in that game last night. The honorable mention All-Stater is the straw that stirs Whitney Young's success.
And Fort Simeon, Brandon Spearman had an up-and-down regular season, but my, oh my, has he come up big in the postseason.
He has come up big, Tom, flying high for the University of Dayton next year, and he's flying high after an 8-for-11, 19-point performance last night. He averages over 30 minutes a game. The Wolverines need his presence on the floor. 43 threes on the year. His outside perimeter shooting is a threat.
Oh, yeah, and that takes us to our keys to the game. First of all, for Whitney Young, they must brand Spearman.
They have to mark Spearman, identify where he's at all times, make him a mark man, alternate fresh defenders on him. They need to feed off last night's finish. Utilize the shot by Ahmad Starks to catapult them. Is destiny a Dolphin? And finally, a mindset. Defend what's theirs. Find a way to be back-to-back champions. Exude mental toughness.
Back in December, Whitney Young beat Simeon, but tonight you feel like the Wolverines must close hard.
Close hard. They need to close out on the shooters. Three-point shooters of the Wolverines. They were 7 for 13 last night. They lead the field with 152 on the year. The play of Jabari Parker, the Frost Phenom, he was only 2 for 10 last night. He must score in double digits to support Brandon Spearman. And then on target, Simeon advanced last night. Despite shooting just 34%, they have to finish their shots this evening.
So here we are, two of the most storied programs in state basketball history. What will be the difference tonight?
Well, you know, normally you count on the veterans. These teams start 8 juniors and seniors among them. But tonight, it might be the freshman phenoms, both of them, Jabari Parker and Thomas Hamilton. Can they make the difference? They're already recognized among the nation's elite.
Simeon winning state titles in 2006 and 2007. They finished second in Class 3A in 2008. Whitney Young, they are the defending 4A state champs, and they know it. They've been fighting through it all season long, and they have gotten to this point right here, right now. Yes, it is an all-Chicago final, but you've got some great players on the floor and a great way to close out the 4A season and the basketball season in Illinois. Let's get this one started. The 4A championship game. Whitney Young and Simeon.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
The ring is theirs until Simeon would try to take it away. There's some great offensive fireworks on both teams. However, as the cliche goes, I got to use a defense wins championship. I think you'll see both these teams flat out get after each other, fighting, contesting every shot, every pass, every dribble.
Walker looking for a pick. He's going to pop. McElrath and the block inside.
Simeon pitching a shutout here early. 7-0 Wolverines. Championship game on the IHSA TV network.
Only 5 field goals.
Spearman, dish, McElrath shooting 2.
Besides Simeon's defense, it's been their offense, the ability to get the ball deep into the paint, into the war zone, draw the defense to them. This time, Spearman once again finds McElrath. Spearman's only scored 6 points, but he has 3 assists. That would have been his 4th had the foul not occurred. So he's been involved in an awful lot of good plays in the open floor and around the basket for the Wolverines. Not many coaches can say that.
They're your state champs. Simeon Wolverines. 51-36 for the 4A state title. We came to Peoria this weekend. Centennial ends up finishing 4th in Class 3A. Whitney Young comes up short here.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois in Champaign. It's time for the grand finale of our weekend of football coverage. I am Aaron Bennett. It's time for the 8A state title game.
State finals, and here we are with this kind of a game. I think that's tremendous. And it's 10 years now that's been here at the University of Illinois in Champaign.
Garrett Cava has it teed up for the Red Devils, and we are underway. 8A football title game, action game. Goro's going to run it. A gain of a couple, and that's it. Hinsdale Central defense closing down very quickly, and here is the defensive front. We'll talk about Patrick Clegg in the middle, surrounded by Mike Owens and Alan Cameron. Linebacking core, Rogowski, Lutz, Rafferty, Sullivan, and Eric Alexander. And in the secondary, Brian Connor, Garrett Cava, and Sean O'Grady.
That was a good stop early for Hinsdale Central to make that play on Goro in the very first play. That kind of gave them a little spunk to their step.
This is where Goro will sit. He is headed to Vanderbilt. Fakes it to Perez. And a big stick early, pass incomplete. Oh my, did Garrett Cava put it to Tyler Benz?
Well, we'll take a look at this. This is off the option fake. We just got through the option fake right there, and he goes over the top. Watch the hit right here. Wow. That's welcome to the state finals right there. Big time hit.
Perez changes direction. Now he's got an opening. Matt Perez. Touchdown, 41 yards. Maine South on the board first.
Take a look at it right here. It's just a simple little trap going back against the grain. And we had spoke earlier about Perez. He really is the key. 197-pound junior.
Whitelaw to keep. He can cut it to the outside. And he'll step out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
Now that shows you right there the composure of that young man.
18-yard run for Whitelaw.
Again, this is the option. He had the pitch man outside. They jumped the pitch man, and he turned it up inside. He has done this all year long, and that's how they respond. Wide open.
Play action.
Wide open.
We've got a score, and it's coming from Mick Culligan. No, he's cut from behind. Oh, what a great job by Sam Schwarzinski. Oh, he never gave up on it.
I just don't understand why he didn't keep running straight down the middle of the field. Great play action right here. There was no rotation at all by the safeties. He is wide open. If he runs straight ahead, he's got 6. He turns a little bit towards the hash mark and gives the angle. And all of a sudden, Schwarzinski makes the play. You can see right here, if he goes straight up the middle of the field, he's got 6. No doubt about it. This is very crucial for Hinsdale Central.
Goro's looking for a lot. Orlando is there. Broken up nicely on the play by Brian Connor. Boy, Orlando had a step on O'Connor for just a second.
Now, what does this tell you about the confidence that you have in your offense and your quarterback coming out of your own end zone, going for the bomb? Now, oftentimes you can come out smelling like a rose here, but this was just excellent coverage right here. Just an outstanding job by number 24, Brian Connor going up and making that play.
And with that, your 2008 Class 8A state champions from Park Ridge, the Maine South Hawks. Not only did they hold it all season long, they made sure that all those folks who knew everything about Maine South were not wrong. They cap it off with this 41-21 championship game victory. It is their third state title in their history, the third in the last 13 years. First one took place at Hancock Stadium in 1995 and 2000, right here at Memorial Stadium, and in 2008. Let's go back down to Aaron.
Thanks, guys. Here with our Country Financial Player of the game, it is Maine South quarterback Charlie Goro. Charlie, a lot of people expected you to do it with your arm, but you showed you got a little leg tonight. You did it successfully tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, everyone knows we're a passing team, but I think tonight we came out with our game plan was a pass, you know, but we just took it. We just took what they gave us, and we just ran the ball as much as we could, and it worked out.
Next step for you, you're headed to Vanderbilt. What excites you the most about that next step for your football career?
Their up-and-coming program, how well they played this year, and just a chance to start early.
What's it feel like to be a state champion?
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I worked 8 years for this, and it's finally here. This is a dream come true. Honestly, it is.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Go celebrate. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Bob Kaufman, and he's off and running. Oh, nicely done. That was tough. It just barely caught that red piping around the bottom of the basket, that padding. He was trying to get it off the glass. Through the legs, and it's down. Oh, he's got two basketballs. All right. DJ Bennett got this started last night in 4A. I think Myers saw that. Oh, he got one of them down. All right. All conference in the Apollo Conference, all tournament at Lawrenceville and Charleston this year. Off. Oh, my. Oh, that's using the old coconut. Bruce Weber, rather, is laughing at that one. Myers, he's just trying to get one in there for to beat the buzzer, but that was pretty sweet. Off the head for Myers Leonard of Robinson. 44 for Myers Leonard. That was good. Maybe must have played soccer somewhere along the line. All right, now Joseph Bertrand, the 3A champ in 08, the 3A champ in 09, two-time champion of the slam dunk competition from Sterling. Oh my, a little cartwheel, backflip. Kaboom! Yeah, well, there's your new leader. Wow. One-handed cartwheel, backflip, and a dunk. Oh, he grabbed the net and hammered that one home. McDonald's All-American nominee, Joseph Bertrand. Oh, two-hander off the glass. The Golden Warriors were 19-11 under Peter Goff. Joseph's headed to Illinois, too. He's got 10 seconds. I would say he is our new leader, but that's just me. A little reverse two-hander. He's got 4, 3, 2. He's going to run out of time. One last blast for America's original March Madness, and it should be a good one. 4A state title game coming your way right here on the IHSA TV network. Good evening and welcome to Carver Arena in Peoria. I'm Lee Hall. It's Waukegan against Whitney Young, a couple of teams that begin with W. Only one of them will come away with a W.
As we spotlight our key players, it's not just because his dad is the greatest basketball player of all time, but we feature Marcus Jordan.
Hey, it's showtime tonight. How about Marcus Jordan last night? 3 points for the half, but 22 points overall. 6 out of 9 field goals, 9 out of 10 for the free throw line. At crunch time, 31 minutes. He just flat out took over the basketball game in the second half. A rising star, much like his brother, much like his father.
And if our theme tonight is Chicago Bulls basketball, well, if Michael Jordan was in the house, so was Scottie Pippen. If Jeremy Richmond is there, Colin Nickerson will pick it up. Indeed, they are keys to the ball game. Brought to you by the tire and wheel experts, Waukegan Tire, with locations in Waukegan, Park City, and Grays Lake. Your Whitney Young keys of the game in a 4A championship battle.
They need to jam Jeremy, run a couple, 2 and 3 people, and play a little bit of bump and grind to try to wear him down.
This place is electric. Let's get it started. Let's go to our public address announcer, Paul Herzog.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association in the city of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. And a guard for Whitney Young, a 6'3" senior, number 5, Marcus Jordan. At a guard for Waukegan, a 5'10 junior, number 1, Mike Springs.
Starting lineups brought to you by Meyer. Check us out at shopformeyer.com. Those 10 players will be playing for the Class 4A state championship.
Hey, it's showtime. We got 32 minutes of entertainment going on tonight. You got two heavyweights going to get after each other from the opening tip.
Waukegan with that opening grab. 9. They've played in 8 different states this year. Stanford Brown, flat-footed shot is good.
They've been to Hawaii, California, Florida, the East Coast, the West Coast. There's no venue, no stage they haven't been on.
Stripped by Jordan, denying Richmond the path to the basket. A fast-paced opening, but what would you expect? Whitney Young by 4 here early on the IHSA TV network.
No, I mean, we coach 12 different young people on our varsity team, and we have 12 different parents that oversee what we do with their children. And our objective is to do what's right by all 12 of those kids, and it's been absolutely no difference with Michael Jordan's son. So it's been really kind of seamless.
In the house, Marcus was quoted as saying, "My dad's really helped me with my game. He does a lot of things with me in the gym and watching film with Michael Jordan. How can you not learn from the master?" That's what I'm going to talk about.
Marcus Jordan playing for a state title here. His dad made his professional debut here in Carver Arena back in 1984, an exhibition game for the Bulls back when they wore those shorty shorts before the Michael Jordan shorts came into vogue. That was back in 1984. They played again here in 1995 in an exhibition game, and everybody knows about Michael's career. But what about Marcus's mother? Juanita Jordan was a great basketball player in her own right at Chicago Fenger. She graduated the year before Fenger went to state and made the Elite Eight. So it's not just dad with the basketball genes, guys. They come from mom, too.
20 feet out. Johnson's shot is altered. Possession to the Dolphins.
4 out of 16 now, counting those 2 misses for Waukegan. I'm not a math teacher like you were, but that's 25%, and that's because of the relentless, persistent passion. A lot of unselfish plays, but both, especially Whitney and Young, really setting the tone defensively.
Antonio Johnson, strong young man, 6'4", 220-pound senior. A soft touch at the line.
Antonio Johnson just 53%, but he looked like he knew what he was doing on that one.
Sam Thompson checks back into the Whitney Young lineup. Bottom of the net. Unable to hang and score is Sam Thompson. Connor, a chance for a three-point play and an intentional foul on Anthony Johnson.
Dave King right down there, intentional foul. We see the explosive over court by Quan Connor. And then from behind, we see the foul. It'll be the bucket after the bump, and then the intentional foul.
Anthony Johnson fouling Aaron Johnson. Chance to make it a 10-point game. As Ron Ashlaw has played just 5 players here in the first half.
With a fatigue factor set in, but he knew he had to keep these guys in. He couldn't let the game get away from him completely. So far,
it's the Dolphins with a 7-point lead over Waukegan at the half, 32-25. It was 17 earlier in the half, and we've got some new friends back here, Coach. They're here from Waukegan. All right. All right, it looked like a blowout. It's a 7-point game here at the break. We've got 16 more minutes of basketball here in the season in Illinois basketball. We'll get the ball rolling after this local timeout.
But they came out like gangbusters and got themselves right back into this basketball game.
However, the game started strongly with Whitney Young as we take a look at the highlights from the first half. The Dolphins exploding out of the gate, and one of the men doing the damage, number 5, Marcus Jordan.
Marcus Jordan spots up, gets the kick out, and he has nothing but net. He hit 2 of those on the ball reversal, put the steal in the passing lane, and there goes Franklin Griffin with the steal and the kiss off the glass. Then the open floor right there, Quan Connor squares it up, elevates, and tickles the twine from 25 feet, 22 feet. Inside out, good pass right there. Anthony Johnson, the beneficiary of that kick out, good inside out basketball. Good spin move right there. Quan Connor's going to go hard after the offensive rebound. comes up with it, a crowd takes it back up strong with a kiss. And then the final thing that we'll see right here is the extra pass, the finish, the flush. Jeremy Richmond gets himself involved in the offense.
Whitney Young was electric in. Connor, nifty dish inside and is swatted away by Stanford Brown, but that will be a foul.
Stanford Brown came from nowhere on the weak side, but got too much arm. Great penetration. Nickerson used his body. He took the bump and the hard hit by Stanford Brown, but Nickerson has a chance to get his team just an inch and a little bit closer.
Ahead to Colvin. Wide open Jordan for three.
Great job, Colvin, getting deep into the defense. He draw two defenders.
Springs. He thought he saw a white jersey, however, the Dolphins close it up in a hurry.
Tyrone Slaughter's probably going to get Sam Thompson on the line. Let's see if I'm right. And that is because that was a terribly ill-advised shot. One thing Tyrone Slaughter demands is discipline. Sam Thompson trying to be too creative on his own right there, and he'll hear about it when he comes to the bench.
Waukegan trailing by 6. They are 2 of 7 from the line here in the third quarter. Well, FoxJocks.com, that's how she would be getting it. Only 1 of 3 for starts. Waukegan had trailed at one point by 17. Loose ball. Do they get the timeout? Nope, but there's going to be a foul. 15 points off turnovers for Whitney Young.
Throw it inside out. There's the entry.
Blocking foul will send Richmond to the line. No basket. Stanford Brown can't believe it, and he is gone. His 5th foul of this game, the last 2 coming in quick succession.
Well, on cue, they got the ball to Jeremy Richmond in the post. Stanford Brown had 4 fouls. Obviously, Ron Ashlaw, good coaching there, knew it. He wanted his stud to get the ball on the inside, posted up strong at the block in the paint area, and he draws the 5th foul.
Oh, my. Here is a look at Walgreens' picture-perfect moment. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right, Good Sportsmanship campaign.
Looks like you in your younger years.
You're just referring to
the green hair.
Okay.
The green hair. Soren Megara.
Oh, baby. 5:20 to play in a 1-point game for the state championship.
Yeah, we see the Waukegan faithful there biting their nails. This could be a nail biter.
Connor to Richmond. He'll get 2 free throws. If he had it to do all over again, I think he may have gone up strong the first time, given the lack of production at the free throw line.
Richmond 1 out 2 from the line.
And that will be the 5th foul on Franklin Griffin.
So they're losing some size on the inside. You see Richmond fake, pump fake, and Richmond has no choice but to either A, allow the dunk.
8 to play. Lee Hall up in the stands with Kim Richmond, Jeremy's mom. They're all wearing Richmond 23 shirts. How many shirts, Mom?
We've got 27 shirts here with us tonight. This is so exciting. This is the best thing that's happened to us in a very, very long time.
Splits traffic. Will not go. Loose ball. Jordan can't save it. Under the table. There he is.
Where'd he go? For the year, he's 81%. So great job by the Dolphins getting the ball in the proper person's hand to try to finish the deal from the charity stripe.
He was 8 of 8 in the fourth quarter last night when it mattered. That was the semifinal win over Thornton. And he gets another. What do you think? I think Michael's stomach is feeling like right now, just like that of any other parent that's here watching their kids play on this floor.
He'd tell you he's more nervous as a parent than he was as a player. That's what every parent tells you.
Got them both.
Want the screener to come back to the ball. On the other side of the ledger, Ron Ashlaw will be in a denial defense. They'll be face guarding every opponent from Whitney Young. They will probably put a center fielder, one guy back to be an interceptor or a trapper. They have to come up with a steal, and if you play behind, obviously that can't happen. That's the science of the obvious right there. But they have to have a center fielder there to try to negate any lob pass.
You know, interesting moment right there. The whole theme for Waukegan this year has been trust. You saw Ron Ashlaw stop talking, listen to some of his players, then offer his feedback. That really says it all. Go to Lee Hall.
All right, Tyrone Slaughter in the huddle telling his guys to play good defense. Don't get up in their body, just get in front of them, make them waste a little time. And he said, when we win this game, go crazy, go crazy.
You can't go crazy at that
11.9 before they can do that, guys.
And they're 1 point closer. Nickerson will have to fly. Looking for the foul. He gets the 3 ball. No more timeouts remaining for either team. And that will do it. Whitney Young wins the 2009 state championship in Class 4A. 11 years ago, George Stanton and the Whitney Young Dolphins defeated Galesburg for the 1998 state AA title.
You guys were able to get to the basket. Marcus Jordan, another great night for you.
He can play basketball. He has good pedigree. This is their time. I don't want any more of it. Talk to those guys.
Congratulations. Marcus, congratulations, buddy. We saw you down at state with the girls, and you got it done here tonight. Tell me about this victory. You guys were up 17. They came back on you, and they challenged you every bit the rest of the way.
Well, we knew it wasn't going to be an easy game. They started off pretty slow, and we knew the push would come. We just had to sustain the push, and we did that, and it feels great right now.
Tell me about the offensive output for you the last 2 nights. You kind of took charge of this team and made it happen.
Yeah, my cousins, John and Carl, they told me that Jordan's never lose in the playoffs. So I just had to go out and make sure that we got the win.
How much more special does it make it for you to have Dan out there watching?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great. I'm sure we're going to watch film after this game, too.
He can tell you what you did wrong. Congratulations, buddy. Happy for you. All right.
Thanks for joining us through the 4 weeks of America's original March Madness.